Hi there, this is an introduction to the University of Connecticut Center for Land Use Education and Research, or CLEAR. And what we try to do is to help local land use decision makers make better land use decisions that help protect their natural resources like water and forest, and in general make the world a happier place for all of us. To do that, we try to balance local communities' need for economic growth and population growth, usually, with the need for them to protect their natural resources, and we think these two are mutually agreeable goals. But a center is mostly about the people in it, and this little video is really to introduce you to CLEAR as a group of people rather than as just a center. Let's start with Bruce Hyes. He's a grizzled land use planner veteran of 30 years, both in Vermont and Connecticut. He runs our Land Use Academy, which is our basic training program for land use commissions, and he's increasingly working on climate resiliency with coastal communities. He's the father of 3 grown kids. He's a triathlete, and he's married to a crazy good triathlete, so he tries to keep up with her, but he can't. He's a boat owner, so he has no money, never picks up a check, and he has boundless enthusiasm around the office. He's just a ball of fire. Carrie Chadwick is one of our 2 geospatial wizards. She runs our geospatial training program, which trains people in the use of GIS, Geographic Information Systems, or GPS, Global Positioning Systems, and other related technologies. She's a new mother. She's somewhat of a Renaissance person with taking photos and painting and all that kind of stuff. But she does have this annoying little habit of wearing bunny slippers around the office. It's kind of distracting. Mike Dietz is a hydrologist. He's a PhD, a water resources specialist with the NEMO program. The NEMO program is our Connecticut Non-Point Education for Municipal Officials program, which is a land use planning and stormwater management. He's an expert in low-impact development, and he's the father of 1 terrific daughter. He spends most of his spare time either chasing the chickens around the backyard or brewing beer in the basement. But he's just a little too fond of fishing, if you ask us. Giuliana Barrett is with the Connecticut Sea Grant program, but she's also part of CLEAR. She's a PhD botanist and ecologist. She's an expert in coastal and riparian restoration, and again, increasingly she's working on climate resiliency with coastal towns, usually with Bruce. She's the mother of 2 semi-grown children. We think she talks to plants in her spare time, but she's really somewhat of a woman of mystery. We have no embarrassing photos of Giuliana. If you have any, please send them in. So we're substituting a smiley face because she's one of the nicest people any of us have ever met. Dave Dixon is an environmental lawyer. As you can see, he's a little bit shy. He runs our National NEMO Network, which is a network of projects in 30 states that are all patterned after what we've been doing here in Connecticut for the last 20 years. But he's also become our resident social media and smartphone applications expert and helps the geospatial technology program address those issues. He's the father of 2 young kids. He coaches his daughter in soccer, and he gets a lot of advice from Bruce and me on that. He runs a lot, and he's very serious around the office. It's really hard for us to get Dave to lighten up. Here he is doing some research. Emily Wilson is our other geospatial wizard, along with Carrie. She's a GIS and remote sensing expert, and she's become an expert as well in web mapping and internet web mapping sites. The biggest one in Connecticut being the CT Eco site with all the natural resource information, and Emily is really the keeper of that. She's the mother of 3 young children, so she has absolutely no time for hobbies, but she does have a superpower, and that is that she's a nice girl from Ohio, and that she can bring that to bear, and believe me, it's kind of scary when she does. Kara Bonsack is our graphic designer. She's also a website designer, and that involves a lot of programming, so she does as much programming as designing these days. And her job, simply put, is to make our stuff look really good, even when it's really second rate. She's the mother of 2 young boys, and so she doesn't have a lot of spare time either, but she works around the house a lot. She's a great athlete and plays a lot of sports, and she will go to great lengths to take a photo. And me, I'm Chet Arnold. I was brought up in the water resources field, but right now I'm kind of the utility infielder for CLEAR. I work with a lot of people on a lot of things, but I really have no known function that any of us can determine, much less me. I'm the father of 2 semi-grown kids. I like to cook and play racket sports, and occasionally I just feel the need to get out in the hills and sing. So that's us. As I said, the center's really about people. We work pretty well together. We try to think of innovative ideas to help our target audience. Usually these ideas are fueled by coffee or chocolate or both at the same time. And they result in websites and workshops, in-person workshops, webinars, tools on the internet like the web mapping that we were talking about, and increasingly applications. And hopefully get back to that whole idea of helping local officials do a better job of making land use decisions that help protect their natural resources while they grow. So that's the process, and that's the big picture, literally, of the center. Thanks.